I could make out with Sydney Sweeney. It's like, yeah, but that's like $8.99 for like an hour. I have actual numbers here to start this conversation. And I also talk to people that are in my field, and we talk about what we're going to be doing in the future to stay relevant. So we are making plans for this. So it's very close to home for me. But let's start with movies, okay? Because I think the big one that everybody sees is like Hollywood is going downhill, right? Like just theatrical releases. Attendance has dropped significantly, except for like event films recently, like Marvel or Top Gun Maverick or Barbie or Oppenheimer, that kind of stuff.
Formula One was epic.
Yeah, that was awesome too. That I would consider that a pretty big film. But like the mid-budget films are struggling in theaters, but they're thriving on like streaming, right?
Right.
So in 2019, here we go. Worldwide box office gross for Hollywood films reached a record $42.5 billion. But billion with a B, and that included 11.4 billion from North America. That's us in Canada, US and Canada. And that's 73% of the worldwide box office for Hollywood being secured from overseas markets. And that's not just China. That's like Japan, Germany, Italy, Mexico, all grew fairly substantially back then. All right, so check this out. 2024, last year, total Hollywood box office gross approximately $8.57 billion in the United States and Canada. This figure represents like a slight decrease compared to $8.9 billion, which was 2023. And globally, the box office reached an estimated $30 billion, which is about 11.5% less than like the previous year. And a 4-year window, roughly 30% drop, dude.
Well, it just, you don't get it both ways, I think, is what we're learning. You don't get to be prescient in everybody's house and omnipresent in everybody's house, and then also expect people to leave their house to go pay you some more.
Right. And that's like Hollywood's like a machine, dude. That's been going on for decades and decades and decades.
Well,
and
before this, it was a straight to video.
Oh, absolutely. And if you watch, like if you listen to Hollywood now, whether it's reading Variety or like going on YouTube, listen to your favorite podcaster, like their marketing arm and their financial partners are like, oh, it's just COVID-19. We'll bounce back. And we had the Actors Guild strike. We had the Writers Guild strike at the same time. Like there's always a reason, right? Those people will not have a job in 5 to 10 years if that's the way they actually think.
It's mystifying that they have a job now.
Right. Exactly. I agree with that. All right. So that's like Hollywood films. Streaming. I think streaming is probably the biggest up and coming like entertainment. Like it's obviously here already. There's too much competition in that. It's kind of gone to where cable was before we all went to streaming. Like you've got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Apple TV Plus, and that's just like the big ones, right?
That's not counting Paramount
Plus, Peacock, ESPN Plus, Fubo TV, and like Philo, which have like live sports and stuff. Like that's all they do.
Those aren't real channels.
Oh, I had Fubo TV. It had every NFL game on it. And the cost of like streaming services has significantly increased since the inception. The average monthly cost for major platforms has risen by about 20% from when like Netflix basically started. Like if you subscribe to all of them, like a pretty standard example would be Netflix. It was $7.99 a month when it started, and now it's $17.99 a month or $20 a month if you want premium. That's 125% increase, dude.
Well, because they got to pay for the. So it started off. They started off streaming content and licensing content. And people said, "Well, we're not going to give you any more content because you're making money off the content, not giving me as much as I want. So I'm going to build my own streaming service." And they went out and they built their own streaming service. And they said, "I'm not going to share my content with you, but except a little bit, maybe sometimes." And so Netflix has to say, "Well, crap, I got to make Game of Thrones now." And so Netflix goes out and makes Game of Thrones. I know Netflix did not make Game of Thrones. Post it in the comments.
Look. We get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The point is taken.
Yeah. So they got to pay to create content. So now instead of paying you're paying a larger cadre of people for more mediocre content.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. And not to mention there's like streaming right now, like in the last 5 years has a huge like churn problem. People are just canceling and starting again here. Like, I don't need Hulu right now. I'll just get Netflix. And I've seen everything on Netflix. I'm going to go get Sling, like if Sling's still around. I'm sure it is. And then it's like, oh, I like whatever, Star Trek, so I'm going to get Paramount. I'll just get that for a while, and I'll cancel my Amazon. Nobody cancels Amazon Prime because Everybody wants Amazon Prime.
Well, because like I'm getting stuff delivered today that I'm excited about. So having stuff on the TV for freebies, that's just gravy.
Yeah, but like there's like think about it, streaming. I wonder what the churn number is for just people who like their credit card expires or something and they just don't renew it.
Oh, dude, that doesn't happen.
That's happened to me.
That doesn't happen. So here's a story that I am not fond of sharing. Because I'm giving something away here, and I'm not real proud of it. But this is what's going to have to happen to make streaming services have any sort of stickiness, right? And it's what I have to do with SiriusXM every year. And every year,
get a new car.
No, I call them every year. I tell them I'm going to cancel. Every year I get the renewal notification. It's 3 times what I paid the previous year. I call them. I tell them I'm going to cancel. Then they give me the same rate that I paid the previous year, and I'm a committed customer, right?
Right.
So we're playing this little game of cat and mouse, SiriusXM and me.
And they have it on their file. They see it when they pull your name.
Like, they have to.
Again. And you know what? Like I have signed up for Netflix at least 6 times.
It's so funny
because I've canceled it. And it's like, oh, did you want to restart for less? It's always, do you want to restart for less? But restarting for less now is still probably 80% higher than when they started. That's like number 2. Number 3, changes in entertainment. I had 3 big ones. And this is basically the attention span of human beings at this point is a problem. Like it's a TikTok world now, right? It's YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. I mean, you're talking 15 to 60 second bursts is what the younger generation is being taught. Like that's it. It's like there's less patience with long, slow builds. There's no more like movies and stuff. All right, so here's what I got. Here's what I did for us. And you tell me how you feel about this. I have built out the next 5, 10, and 20 years how I think it's going to go. And this has to do with conversations I've had in the industry and a little help from AI because, why wouldn't I get help from AI? And then just me doing some thinking. Theatrical releases they're shrunk further, mostly limited to like, again, the tentpole things, big action movies, cultural phenomenon kind of stuff. But like art films, rom-coms, dramas, they're done from theaters directly to streaming, period. Streaming wars consolidate a little bit probably in 5 years. There's probably, like it's kind of like in football where it's like the Big Ten and the SEC. There's probably 3 or 4 of them. It's probably like Netflix, Disney, Amazon, and Apple.
I believe that, yeah.
And as far as attention spans go, I think maybe, I don't know if it's 5 or 10 years. Movies are released in like multiple formats. So there's going to be like short episodic like cuts for TikTok and YouTube of long form versions of movies. So you can basically see a movie in like 60 seconds. Well, here's the other thing. With AI, there also is going to be entertainment, I think, especially on this, not streaming, but like on your phone, where it's like choose your own adventure books. All right, or what do you want to do next? And it takes you there. It's not going to, it's going to start to become Ready Player One.
I love that. That's amazing.
I would love that too.
I love the future.
That's like 5 years. I think that's just 5 years ahead of us because I think AI is going to roll here. But 10 years ahead of here, I think theatrical stuff is like movie theaters probably survive a little bit, but you're only seeing something in like IMAX or you're going to like a drive-in for nostalgia. I don't know how many theaters are around, but it's kind of like going to a theme park at this point as opposed to going, to just see a movie on Friday.
Dude, they've actually turned, because the movie theater, the entertainment industry didn't want to innovate, right? So their inability to bring beer to the table till the mid-teens
right.
is like, how is that disruptive? How is that, like they're finally making an experience to go to this place that you're paying for an experience. Have you been to the movies lately? It ain't cheap.
Oh, dude, it's like, I think the average ticket price now is like $17.
Yeah, it's wicked expensive. And, they finally made it an experience that I'm willing to participate in. I wouldn't buy a Jeep Wrangler until they had heated seats, by God. When they had heated seats, I bought a Jeep Wrangler. I wasn't going to movies 5 years ago unless you were serving beer. Streaming, as far as that goes, 10 years from now, it's still just consolidating. I think it almost becomes a digital version of like the analog cable ISP, where there's only 1 or 2. And you're paying, instead of paying $30 for 4 of them, each, you're paying $160 and you're just getting everything. It turns back into cable, but it turns back into cable. It morphs into cable on demand. This is what on demand looks like. On demand entertainment looks like in 10 years.
I agree 100%. All right. And then, of course, TikTok is like evolving into mainstream entertainment. I think like mainstream distributors are making sure they have everything on TikTok and shorts and reels, like everything. Their movie is going to be 10 years from now. They will consolidate their movie into 30-second pushes and they will personalize it with AI stuff. So, like every movie you see, you'll be in it, you'll be a part of it. Like you'll be the main player and you'll be making decisions.
I don't want to make decisions. That's why I go to movies.
Well, I think you'll be able to do that, or you'll be able to watch the 60s. You will still be fine because we're old. So we'll still want to go see a movie. And you know what that'll be? That'll be 20 years from now when you know what the theater is. Going to a movie is like going to a Broadway show or opera. It's like this event.
Oh, it's an event. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, that is the parallel. That is the logical parallel for it. There's like 2 or 3 movie houses in every major city where it becomes an event to go see a movie.
I think 20 years from now, we're not even talking about 3 or 4 different like streaming or movie. You're basically in a VR world, or you're on like the holodeck from Star Trek, and you're talking to everybody else around the world. Like I believe that's coming true.
I believe it's coming true, and I think 20 years is probably generous in terms.
Yeah, it's probably more like 10 or 15.
Yeah,
but like Hollywood studios all they're doing is selling like IP content, so you can become Robin Hood. But you have to have the rights to do that.
I don't know if on Robinhood you actually have to have the rights.
No, but like that's how you're making out with Sydney Sweeney, is you have to buy her rights. When you go into your movie or your experience, your entertainment experience, it's like, I could make out with Sydney Sweeney. It's like, yeah, but that's like $8.99 for like an hour. Or it's kind of like Total Recall, like you go in there and you're a spy as opposed to just being a regular cat.
I love that. It's going to be terrible.
But I think that's where it ends up being. And then it's like, at that point, everybody's got their glasses. There's probably implants. Like they're probably implanting stuff into you at that point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Okay, so I'll be in my 70s.
Yep.
Can I go cyborg? Will I be able to go full on cyborg at this point?
Oh, I don't know if
I'm talking RoboCop, the new version, not the old version.
But you're going to be able to deliver your consciousness into cyborg or something. I just don't know if that technology is going to hit before we die.
Eternal. I mean, you who knows? Well, shit, me who knows? Yeah, really, that's not. I don't remember how I got home on Saturday. So to be fair, yeah.
So that's where I think entertainment's going, brother. Like I literally believe it's going to be Ready Player One and the holodeck, and it's like. It'll be a real version of Call of Duty now, where you're talking on a headset. No, you'll basically feel like you're in there doing it, if you want to be. Which I don't know that I would want to be, but then again, I'm old.